Happy Friday. What's going on, YouTube? Welcome back to 30 Minutes with a Millionaire, the #1 place to get all of your questions answered live if you're looking to start, build, or grow your online Amazon business. This is the strongest channel on YouTube with more videos than any other channel, and we're here to help you increase your income, your impact, and your influence. If you're new to the channel or you're watching a replay, do one thing before we get started or before you start watching. #1, hit that red subscribe button. Make sure it says subscribe. Next to it, click the notification bell, because every single week here in this channel, we're dropping new videos like our exclusive YouTube series, 7-Figure Product Series, where I'm literally reviewing top-selling brands, 7-figure products that are generating over $1 million per year. We also go live every single week to answer all of you guys' questions, help you guys get unstuck, help you guys get momentum in your business, and we also post different informational, educational, and motivational content here on the channel as well. So without further ado, guys, let's go ahead and dive into 30 Minutes with a Millionaire. Remember, no question is a bad question. The only dumb question is a question that's not asked. So if you are watching the replay, what I want you guys to start doing on the replays is drop your questions down below. I read every single one. I personally respond to all of them. So just because you're watching this replay, if you're not here live with everybody, drop your question down below and we'll still answer it. What's going on, Derek? George, Eileen, Lovie, what's going on, everybody? Dustin, Raina, Dominique, my man, what's going on? Cool, let's go ahead and refresh and see where the questions are. Guys, go ahead and drop your questions. Let's get right to it. We don't want to waste any time. And for those of you that are new watching this, by the way, guys, remember, the best skill set, I say this every single week, but it's generally, it's true, right? And one of the best skill sets that you can have is the skill set of being able to answer specific questions, right? Like if you identify like what question, because here's the thing, a lot of people have random questions that they're not appropriate right now. Like they're just questions that came into their head or things they're thinking about. Like leave that off to the side. Like identify right now, what is the question that I need to answer right now? That way I can implement this and then get to the next level. Because what happens is many of us become addicted to information and allergic to execution. We just come up with random questions we want to ask all the time. Whenever we have some type of time with someone who knows, the answer to the questions that we have, we're just asking random questions. Like think about what you need. Think about what questions are going to help change your life. What questions are going to help you make more money? What questions are going to help scale your business? Not only on YouTube Lives, but maybe mentorship calls, live events. I'm telling you, it's been a game changer for me in my life. Hey man, I'm trying to get into the business. I'm a disabled veteran and I'm finding funding to start up is tough. Any recommendations? Yeah, Xavier. So there's a few different ways. Matter of fact, can you look up that video about on YouTube about funding and like ways to start the business? I know we did a video, but I'll break it down quickly, and my team is looking for that video here on YouTube. But there's a few different ways that I recommend starting. So I often say if you lack resources that you want to become resourceful. So if you don't have access to the capital to start the business, how can you become resourceful and get access to the funds? So you have traditional lending and you have non-traditional lending. We'll start with those, right? Traditional lending, a few different examples of traditional lending would be going to a credit union, going to a local financial institution, one that you do business with, one that you have savings account with, and looking at a personal loan or a business loan, right? And identifying, based off of your credit, based off of your history with the account, or what type of revenue you're generating, or what type of cash flow you have coming in, they can see if you qualify for a loan and how much. That's more of the traditional. Non-traditional or conventional loans, there's tons of them, right? First and foremost, you have interest-only loans. Interest-only loans are usually a little bit higher. However, they require a little bit less. For instance, in the real estate world, they're called hard money loans, right? So that's one of them. You also have working capital loans or business starter loans. So there's websites like Cabbage and some platforms like PayPal, Amazon even offers this as well, are going to have working capital loans where if you have a business, you can literally, or you have assets, you can literally pull money up against them or borrow money and use that money, right? So I remember when I got started, I used to use working capital loans from PayPal. And then actually when I started selling on Amazon, Amazon started offering those. So once you're in the business, and nobody knows when Amazon's going to allow this or like invite you to this. It's invite only, but Amazon Capital is huge, and you can get decent rates based off of how long you've been a seller and how much you've sold, right? Of course, we have credit cards. We have the traditional loans. We talked about non-conventional loans. We talked about working capital. Now, if none of those work, like you're like, Josh, I understand all this stuff, but I don't have credit, or I don't have a ton of cash flow, or I'm not working currently, so on and so forth. Oftentimes, if you don't have cash or credit, you have time, right? So if you don't have cash or credit, but you have time, then you want to partner with somebody. And there's two ways that you can do this. There's an equity partner where, hey, listen, I need you. This is a friend, a family member, a colleague, somebody that you know. This is my idea. This is what I want to do. I have the time. I'm willing to study this. I'm willing to manage this. I need you to inject the capital or put the money up so we can start this. That's one way that you can structure it. Or that's the equity play structuring for partnerships. The other way is a loan, in a non-traditional or non-conventional loan structure with a colleague, a friend, a family member, so on and so forth. And that looks something like this. Like, hey, this is what I want to do. This is the business I want to do. This is my plan. This is my projection, so on and so forth. I have the time to learn this. This is how I plan on learning this, so on and so forth. I plan on doing X, Y, and Z. It should make me X, Y, and Z. This is how much I need. Now, traditionally with your money sitting in the bank, you're getting 0.001%. If you have your money in the stock market, in the S&P, in some type of stable investment, you may get 10% annually, which is less than 1% per month. Real estate, average around 10% annually. However, I believe that learning the business, studying the business, doing product research, product development, placing my first order, developing the product, getting the product listing created, launching the product, managing it, and then being profitable should take about 6 to 9 months, right? If you tell them 6 to 9 months, you can tell them, listen, I plan on making 30% on investment on this product. This is the profit margins. This is how I came up with that number. I'm willing to give you 20%, which is double what the bank will give you, or double what you can get within real estate, or 30%. So where I'm getting at is you could do the non-conventional loan with a peer or a family member, or you can do an equity play, right? So those two work, and I've done both of them in the past as well. So where there's a will, there's a way. Just think about your resources, exhaust your resources. A lot of us have these contacts, these devices filled with phone numbers, but when it comes time to launch a product, we're not exhausting all these phone numbers and contacts that we have for reviews, or for our initial purchases and our ranking campaigns, or when we need to raise capital, or we want to partner, or we're trying to raise funds for our business. We're not doing this. Another thing that I recently heard someone, and this is the last one on this topic, to coming up with money to start the business when you don't have cash or credit. Another most recent one that I came across, which I thought was pretty interesting, is I know someone who knows someone who did a GoFundMe. So GoFundMe is free. I don't know how they get paid. I haven't personally done this, like full disclaimer, but I know someone who did a GoFundMe to start their business, and they shared it with friends and family and on Facebook, and then friends and family shared it, and they were able to raise $10,000 and start their online Amazon business doing this, right? So you could also do a GoFundMe. Like, I'm going to be honest, when I think of GoFundMe, it's like something tragic happened to somebody and they need money for a surgery or something. I didn't know that you could do that, just to raise money for other things. But that's another thing. And then you could just start with your friends or family, use your contact list, post it on Facebook, post it on social media, and then just ask them to share, so on and so forth. So that's also a few different pieces of advice. Derek, my onboarding call is Tuesday. I'm a newbie with no business yet. Is there anything I can do to better prepare for the onboarding call? Derek, so depending what program you're in, brother, what I would focus on is just coming up with some very specific questions about where you are and where you want to be at in the business. I'm not sure if you're in the consulting side of things with AMZ Together, like Max or Inner Circle, or you're in the business built for you by our team sector of AMZ Together, which is the DFY sector. But what I would do is identify maybe some things that you need clarity on where you are currently, or some things about the business. Like, one of the most important things that you can do as an investor or an entrepreneur is make sure that you're thoroughly educated in the business. Even if you're an investor and you're having someone build and manage something for you, you still want to be very invested in the understanding of the business. That way you don't let yourself down, or you're not let down. Warren Buffett, one of the most notariable investors in the world. He says that he only invests in things that he understands. So he's invested in Coca-Cola, he's invested in Rolex. He understands these brands, he believes in these brands, he knows how they work, so on and so forth, right? So the best thing you could do is, because you can overwhelm yourself with like, what do I ask? What do I look forward for? What happens next? Best thing is to come up with a punch list and identify some questions that you need asked in reference to areas of the business that you thoroughly don't understand or how it works, right? That way you go into it educated and you thoroughly understand how the business works. And it'll just help everything be a lot smoother. Oh, and congratulations, by the way. Welcome to the family. George, what credit card is good to get due to fixed income amounts, retirement? I received my LLC Tuesday. Shout out, congratulations on the LLC. So the startup money is the issue. So I don't really know a credit card recommendation for like fixed income. I think all credit cards, when you apply for them, business or personal, they go off of like what your credit score is, and then like what you plan on spending and using it for, and then a little bit of your income. So I would just say, and I can give you this, like this is a little bit broad answer. I wish I could be a little bit more specific with the fixed income, but for business, I would say the two of my favorite are going to be American Express and then Chase. So Chase has some really good business cards like the Ink card. My personal favorite is going to be the Gold American Express and then the Platinum American Express business. Now, if you don't travel a bunch or plan on traveling a bunch, the Gold is probably better for you than the Platinum. If you travel a lot, I would say get both because it's the best of both worlds. The Platinum is going to give you access to more benefits, more features, more like cool stuff like the Centurion Lounge, which is necessary when you're traveling. It makes life a lot easier. With the Platinum, you also get access to Priority Pass. And with Priority Pass, you get access to like 250 plus lounges off to the side of the Centurion Lounge. So Centurion Lounge is like their VIP lounge for American Express. And then the Priority Pass just gets you access to all the different ones that they're partners with. So it makes life really easy if you travel. You also get like Uber credits and all this other stuff. Now, when it comes to points and building up points and like business advantages, Gold has been the best card that I found. I bank with JP Morgan, so they have a new card. What is that new card? Was it the Ink or was it the Chase Liquid? What was that new card I was just telling you about? Yeah, I forgot the name of it. I have to check my emails, but there's a new one that they're just coming out with. I think it may be the Ink, but Chase has some really competitive offers when it comes to business checking. And they're a huge bank, right? So those are the two that I would recommend. Is it possible to open an Amazon? Oh, I lost that one. Can you scroll up? Is it possible to open an Amazon store in the U.S. market, even if not in the U.S.? Yeah, absolutely, Raina. So regardless of what part of the world you live in this order geographically, you have the U.S. marketplace, you have the U.K. or Europe marketplace, and then you have Canada. In those order, those are the largest. And for our clients and like people that ask that live outside the U.S., I always recommend starting an account and selling in the U.S. because it's the largest marketplace with the largest opportunity. So in order to get started selling on Amazon, if you live outside of the US, even if you live in a country where it says you're unable to sell on Amazon, the bypass is just simply opening an LLC and having a physical address in the United States. Now there's like third-party carriers that will receive mail on your behalf and give you a physical address. There's tons of people that do that, like UPS does that. There's tons of legitimate office buildings that do that. And if you need help with that stuff, just email support@theamzformula.com and say, subject line, selling on US, outside of US, need help. And then just give some brief context and we can put you in contact with our sources that deals with our clients when it comes to like setting up LLCs and getting physical addresses and all that. That way they can help you. Yo, what's up, Dominic? Happy Friday. My inventory is on its way. Shout out. That's amazing. And I just added a 40-page coloring book for my customers when they purchase my product. That's phenomenal, man. Super excited for you, man. I know we just talked about that a few days ago, so it looks like you're taking action fast. Any advice on how to get it into a QR code so it is in the packaging? All right, so you have a few different steps. So I'm trying to think if I verbally do this or I put this on a whiteboard. So if you guys are thinking about having a digital downloadable or accessible bonus feature or additional like thing that comes with your product for adding value or differentiating, so on and so forth, the easiest way and one of my favorite ways is to get a QR code. A QR code is like that weird looking like blotch of like, you know, like ink that you scan and it pops something up. So you get a QR code, you buy that from a QR website. There's tons of them and it shouldn't cost you more than 20 bucks. Once you buy that, of course you have the thing, whatever the thing is. In this case, it's a coloring book. It could be a PDF. It could be whatever it is. And then you have to have some type of source that's going to host that content, right? So this could be like I was mentioning when we were chatting. It can be G Drive. It has to be some web-based server or some type of cloud-based, web-based thing that's going to store this. So it can be like a G Drive. It can be like a Dropbox. It can be a funnel. It can be a website. It can be what's those cheap websites that are cheap and easy to make that everybody used to use? Not Squarespace, the older ones. I'm drawing a blank right now. Yeah, WordPress. It can be WordPress. WordPress was huge. And by the way, like if you don't have a ClickFunnels account or know how to do funnels or like have like any type of like Shopify or any site like that, you can literally go on Fiverr or Upwork and have somebody build you like a dummy, like 1 to 3 page WordPress website. Very, very inexpensive, like for I would say under 200 bucks. And you can do that, right? Some QR code companies, and I would also look around with that. I don't have one specifically to give you off the top of my head, but some QR codes will allow you to host like PDFs or host different things. Do you know any off the top of your head where you can have material like a digital download or PDF or ebook linked to a QR code? We said Dropbox, WordPress, ClickFunnels, Shopify, Squarespace. Yeah. Gumroad. Yeah, Gumroad is another one. Linktree is another one. You can do it within Linktree. I think those are some options. So I would just do some research. And there's tons of videos here on YouTube as well about that. In fact, don't I have a video in the program, in the AMZ formula about that? I think too, Dominic, if I'm not sure because I know you're part of the DFY program. I don't know if you have access to the AMZ formula. I think I actually have videos in there. So if you want to email your client success rep or someone you're coordinating with, or just DM me so I don't forget, ask about that video and I'll have my team look and pull that video out of the AMZ formula so I can get it for you. Is it okay to use a P.O. box number with street address for the Amazon account address? Don't want to use personal address for this. George, they have been cracking down on the P.O. boxes. They want like a registered third-party address. So there's tons of companies that will do this, and it's like 15, 20 bucks a month. We have had P.O. boxes in the past. We also have had some rejected. So I would just go with the service. It's like a legitimate office building that gives you a legitimate office that's not your home address. Best piece of advice for keeping momentum or staying motivated. Be very intentional with what step of your journey you're at right now and what your next step is. It's very easy for us entrepreneurs like to have ADD syndrome where it's like we start here at 1 and then we go to 7 and then we come back to 3 and then bounce to 5 and then we go back to 12. Like think about it like walking up steps. If you start at the ground level, right, and you want to walk through the door, this is your destination, right? Your street level, you got out your car, your street level, you're starting at step 1. You want to go into this restaurant, but you have to walk up 10 sets of steps to get through the door. You're not going to jump 3 steps. You're going to walk up 1 step per time, right? 1 step at a time. So think about it using that analogy when it comes to your business. Be very specific. Some people use softwares like I'm a caveman. I literally write this down. I use a free app on here that everybody has, whether you're Android or Apple. It's called the Notepad. I use the Notepad. I also use the, I hold the button down and talk to Siri and tell Siri, Android, I don't know what Android's called, but whatever that robot AI is that can do stuff for you, like an assistant, I tell Siri to create tasks with specific deadlines and reminders, so on and so forth, to help me stay on task. I set alarms on my phone. I keep tasks in order on the notepad. Every single day before I go to bed, I'm looking at these tasks like, what are the tasks for tomorrow in chronological order, ascending to descending order from the hardest task that will move the needle the furthest to the easiest one. So I want to start with the hard one, knock it out, and then towards the end of the day, when I start to get fatigued or exhausted with mental energy, I'm doing the easier tasks, right? This will help with momentum. This will help with you getting a self of accomplishment, and it will also help with momentum as well. And then another hack for that is accountability. So if you're struggling with accountability, like reach out to a significant other or like boyfriend, girlfriend, husband, wife, brother, sister, family member, close friend, somebody, and say like, yo, I really need to do these things. I'm struggling to do these things. I need you to hold me accountable. Can you just check in with me daily, make sure that I'm getting this stuff done? And that's like a more like logical way. If you're like insane in the membrane like me and you really want results and you're not going to you really need this to work and you want results and you're willing to go to the extreme. I have a saying in like a framework. You can learn about it here on the channel. It says that the framework is very simple to understand. Like when I use myself as a test dummy or like a guinea pig. And like when I reverse engineer my success, I identify like what allowed me to become successful. What are the things that allowed me to become successful? Because it wasn't good fortune or good luck or anything like that. I didn't inherit money. I didn't live in a good area. I wasn't smart. Like I had everything going against me. So how did I get where I am, and what did I learn, and what helped me there? And one of the things that I noticed is like the trials and tribulations and the bad like predicaments that I were in forced me to have to make decisions, right? Like there was no other option. Like this was the decision. I had no food to eat. I'm not going to go to sleep hungry or let my family go to sleep hungry. I have to find a way to get food, right? Like there's no option. Like these are predicaments that I was in. So now when I reverse engineer, like now I'm not in these predicaments. And for people who aren't in these predicaments where they have to take action, well, why am I not getting results? And this is the framework. You may want to write this down, but you have to be really hungry because this is a little effed up. Things that are not mandatory, that do not have consequences, are very seldomly completed. So this is the framework that I attribute a lot of my success to. And when I reverse engineered it, this is what I noticed. I noticed that I was in these situations that had severe consequences. So I had to make things work because if not, the consequence was severe. So how do I implement that mechanism in my life today when I'm successful and can retire? Why do I still want to try if I'm successful? Well, I often put these mechanisms in place, which are going to be like disciplinary actions, which, for example, if I don't do something, then what is the consequence? Like everybody wants to be successful. Everybody, when they're starting a business, they want the business to work. Everybody, when they're starting a business, they want to be rich. They want to make money. They want to get to the next level. They want to drive a nice car, have a nice house. But if you have food in your fridge, you have a roof over your head, you have shelter, you have a car, like you have a job, and like your life is okay, what is going to push you over the edge? Because you're going to lose money. You're going to people are not going to agree with you. You're going to lose money. Things are going to take longer than you expected. Like all of this negativity is going to be building up and anxiety is going to be building up. Why do you persevere towards that? Right? Because I talk about there's two ways that you fail, not starting or giving up. So if you start and you're on your path to success, how do you persevere without giving up? It's by implementing consequences along the way that are tied to tasks that need to be completed in order for you to become successful. So for example, when I don't feel like doing something, however, I know that me accomplishing that is tied to success or tied to an accomplishment which will pull the lever in my life or my business, I will tie a consequence to it. So these are a few that I've done. I've done like fasting. Like if I don't do it, I will fast. Like I will literally eat flavored ice cubes, or I'll just fast and do water only. That sucks horribly and I don't like that. So I try to like accomplish the task. I've slept on the floor or on the couch. That sucks. I don't want to do that. So I've done that. Like I've refrained from like sexual activities. That sucks. So, and I don't like not want to do that. So I try to refrain from that. I've pulled hobbies. Like I like driving my car. I won't drive my Lamborghini for 30 days. I won't drive my Lamborghini for 14 days. I like driving my car. That sucks. So I want to accomplish the thing. I like to play video games competitively. Like that's my thing. It's been my thing since before my kids were born. Like if I don't hit the goal, if I don't hit the target, if I don't accomplish the thing, I'll wipe that out. So what things that are not mandatory, that lack consequences, are very seldomly accomplished? Well, if you don't get a high school diploma or a GED, you can't go to college. If you don't get either of those, you're not going to make a ton of money. Your life is going to suck. Like that's a severe consequence. If you break the law, you go to jail. If you severely break the law, you go to prison. That is a consequence that sucks. That's why people abide by the law. The law or principle, the law of life is if you jump over, like if you go to the Grand Canyon and you jump over the edge, you fall to your death. Like that is very severe. So like you ever notice like nobody has to teach animals, hey animal, don't go to the edge because you'll fall and you'll die. Like it's a severe consequence that is almost baked in subconsciously. Like your conscious mind understands it so you don't do it, right? But when it comes to these things that are needed or mandatory in order for you to become successful, nobody teaches this. Like we take courses. Do you know why courses are very seldomly accomplished? Because there's no consequence. Like what is the consequence? You lose money? Here's the interesting thing. Most people invest what they can afford to lose and expect life-changing results. Like if you start a program and you just have an extra $1,000, an extra $5,000 laying around and you just start a program with it, and there's no consequence other than you losing that money, which you can replace, why would you finish the program? Because you want to become successful? That's not enough, right? There's no consequence tied to it. So this is a framework that when I reverse engineered how I got where I am, this was a catalyst that assisted in me becoming successful. So it's a messed up approach. You know, it's probably not something that you guys want to hear, but this is stuff that this is how I become successful. And this is how a lot of people, if you study some of the most successful people in the world, they came from effed up situations. Like Oprah Winfrey, one of the wealthiest females, African-American women in the world, had the most effed up childhood, like was molested, was beaten, was like tortured, was starved. Like it was ridiculous. If you look at people like Jay-Z, who's a billionaire, very successful, has no education, grew up in Marcy projects, drug infested, selling drugs. You had to survive. Like you had two options: sell drugs, get good at basketball, because you're not finishing school. Finishing school is not paying the bills now. Those were severe situations that these people were placed in. Oprah didn't have, there was no option. I had to survive. So it's like when it comes to business, it's like, oh my God, what is the worst thing that can happen? I'm going to lose my money and I do it again? Well, I've already withstanded all of this. This is nothing. So for those of you that don't have that trauma or haven't went through that, you have to create some type of catalyst, some type of consequence mechanism that is going to force you to level up. Otherwise, it's going to be a very slim chance that you become successful or you accomplish anything. That's why there's a saying, if you don't pay attention. Like one of the reasons our consulting and our programs and our coaches have the highest success rate in the industry is because we charge the most. And I don't charge the most because I'm greedy and I want to buy more stuff and live a lavish life. I charge the most so that we can offer the most to our clients, A, and B, they can be highly invested in, because the less you pay, the less you pay attention. And the smaller the transaction, the less the likelihood of a transformation. So when you think about these things, like why do doctors have the highest success rate? Like how many people do you know that went to college and spent $100,000? And yes, they're in debt. And yes, they're also not pursuing the profession that they went into debt in order to learn to become, right? Why? Because $100,000, that sucks, but it's not detrimental. Now, a doctor, 4, 5, 6, 10 years, hundreds of thousands of dollars, it's detrimental for you not to finish going to college or for you to give up on that. I don't know too many people, like they have the highest success rate and completion rate because it costs the most and it takes the longest period of time. So hopefully that gives you guys some insight. Let's keep rolling. I know that was a rabbit hole, but I don't think I've taught that other than that one video. So I think a lot of you guys will get a lot of value from that. I was initially about to launch a few products with limited capital. Now building business credit will possibly have access to more capital. Would you focus on current products or find more? So I don't know, like, a few products, how many a few products are, and then when you say like focus on current products or find more. So I don't know how many products you're talking about, and I don't know if you're like in the launch phase or still in the conceptual like thinking phase and product development phase and product research phase. Here's like my thought process, which hopefully this answers your question. If you want to create an online Amazon business following what we teach, which is private label, which is branding and the selling of physical products, the more products that are semantically relevant that you launch within a smaller period of time to one another, the better chances you have of growing a portfolio. So that's one way that you can do it. The other way that you can do it, if you're going to launch less than 3 products, it has to be a revolutionary product, which is very difficult to do. Revolutionary products are blender bottle. Revolutionary products are scuff controllers, gaming controllers. Revolutionary products are Gymshark. Gymshark is the clothing line, right? Yeah, these are revolutionary products where they started with one product. A revolutionary product was Apple with the computer, right? So, by the way, if you guys haven't checked out 7-Figure Product Series, it's our YouTube exclusive series. Here in my studio, every single week, we review a 7-figure, a product that's literally generating over $1 million per year on Amazon. I've done I've done Blender Bottle, and I've done Scuff. So you can learn about like behind the scenes of how they built the business, how they got started, how long they've been in business, how much their products are doing, how you find a product like that, how you build a product out like that, how you differentiate it, how you offer value. We literally break down everything, and I give you the report that my team put together. It's phenomenal. It's the best thing on YouTube, I believe, generally when it comes to education in this space, especially private label. Because our goal with the channel is very simple: to be the best in the industry when it comes to education and information around starting, building, or growing an online private label business. We have the largest channel, most videos, highest quality, most information. So that's something we take pride in. So I would do that. However, like I would identify what route you're going to take. You're going to go with the revolutionary one product, or you're going to go with the multi-SKU product. What's more realistic a majority of the time is the multi-SKU or multi-ASIN product, right? For instance, like if you're going to get into phone chargers, which I don't suggest at all, but I'm using this because it just popped in my head because I'm looking at one. You would do, a USB-C, a old school iPhone one, and then an Android one, just giving you context, right? These would be 3 different products, 3 different SKUs that I launched. They're not going to be the same listing or sub-listing. They're all going to be 3 different listings, semantically irrelevant, and you can grow horizontally with that brand, right? So that's how I would look at it. We get the question all the time, Josh, I have the money to launch 3 products. Should I start with 1 and see how things go? Like, there's your question right, or there's the answer to that question right there. The only reason I would start with 1 product is if that's all you can start with, right? Starting with 1 product is better than starting with more. But if you have access to the capital, if you do your due diligence, you cross your T's, you dot your I's, and you're building a real brand, you're not just trying to throw generic products out there and undercut people with price or quantity, like the chances of you losing are very slim. Yo, Lewis, what's up, man? I didn't even know $199. I didn't even know you could give people money on this. That's awesome, though. Shout out to Lewis. What do you say? I didn't read it. Execution over excuses. Is that what he put? Oh, yeah, get the work done, period. Shout out to Lewis. That's awesome. What are the good strategies or resources to reduce Amazon FBA fees? So Amazon FBA fees or fulfillment by Amazon fees are compiled on several things, right? Number 1, the price of the product. Number 2, the size of the product. Number 3, the weight of the product. So Amazon makes, like, you have to think about Amazon's expenses. So 2 of Amazon's biggest expenses is warehouse storage and then logistics. So with Amazon FBA, I don't know if I should, I guess I can just write, I'm lazy. I don't feel like writing this down on the whiteboard. So make sure you guys are taking notes. Number 1, and I'll recap that. Number 1, you have storage space. Number 2, you have logistics or shipping. So when it comes to FBA, which is fulfillment by Amazon, Amazon is going to store your product in their warehouse, okay? Pick the product, package the product using their own packaging materials, then they're going to ship it to your consumer or their client, which is using logistics, right? So their fees are going to be packaging supplies, it's going to be warehouse storage, and it's also going to be logistics or shipping. So the variable that goes into shipping cost is size, okay, as well as weight. And the main factor that goes into their cost when it comes to their storage is going to be dimensions. Because a product can be small and weigh a lot, it's not going to cost them more than a product that's huge that doesn't weigh a lot, right? So weight, when it comes to storage, is not that big of a deal. They look at it as cubic volume, which is length times width times height added by volume, or the weight of the product, right? So you have how much packaging material, what type of packaging material, how much warehouse space, how much packaging material, and then how much it's going to cost to ship. These are the factors that come into your FBA fee. So if you're looking for high profitability or a high profit margin, there's multiple variables you can look at. What's something that's small? What's something that's lightweight? That's like the easiest two ways to identify how to reduce your FBA fees and increase your profit margins. That's why people love electronics. I bash electronics all the time because they're not beginner friendly, right? However, electronics have the highest margins. If you do electronics right, they can be amazing. But if you do them wrong, they can be horrendous. And I'm speaking from experience. Guys, everything I talk about on the channel is from first-person experience, meaning I've done it and lost money or done it and made money, or like we've worked with thousands of clients and consulted tens of thousands of people. So we know this through real world events. Like there's no theory or theory or we think this may work. Like we know this through results. Like one of my first products was an electronic product and I lost my Amazon account. So you can do electronics, just make sure you do it right. And when I mean do it right, like make sure you're working with an engineer, make sure like you understand the electrical components, make sure you understand all the like warning features or like the any of the issues that could happen with the product in terms of like catching on fire or malfunctioning or overheating. Make sure you're focusing on quality. Like WWAD is what would Apple do? Just mimic Apple when it comes to anything, especially electronics, and you should be okay. I sell on Amazon FBA private label products. What are some Amazon marketing strategies that I can use to make more sales? So the easiest way to make more sales as an Amazon FBA private label seller is to do the complete opposite of what all the other sellers are doing. So the easiest thing to do is to buy your top three. And these are action steps. So we talk about like people who become addicted to education, allergic to execution. This is a perfect example as I answer this question, what you guys should be doing when you ask for questions and get answers. So these are action steps. Number one, go in your categories for your top sellers, okay? I want you to buy the first three people on the page. Organic, not PPC or not sponsored, organic. They're selling the most amount of units in your industry. I want you to order these three products. When you receive the products, I want you to open the products up. I want you to see what their marketing material is. What are their offers? Do they have websites? Do they have funnels? Are they collecting intellectual property like emails or SMSs? Opt into their stuff. See what their messaging looks like. Go on their social media. When you go on their social media, quick example, when you go to Instagram, if you go to the far right and you hit the square icon, it will show all of the posts. When you go to their brand accounts, if they have brand accounts, are they using influencers? If so, if they've used them more than once, chances are they're profitable. Go steal all of them and run on those pages. Then go in the search page, hashtag your relevant keywords, which are the most profitable keywords that you're ranking for, and then find influencers that are doing exactly what the other guys are doing and get more influencers than them. This is just one. You can do this on TikTok. You can do this on Instagram. You can do this on Facebook. You can do this on YouTube. You can do this on Pinterest. Then you can go into Google and type in your product and see, are there any blogs? What are blogs? A website that talks about your product. Are they top to-do list? Are they top to buy during a specific time list? Scroll all the way down at the bottom at the contact us, reach out to them and see how much it costs to get an article written or a press release written with your product, get listed on that product. These are two things. So number one, action items. Number one, order the top three people, see what they're doing. Number two, scan their social medias and see, are they advertising? Number three, go on Google and see if they're using press releases or blog sites. And I'll give you Let me see. How many likes we got, man? I was going to give him a fourth one, but I got to see what the like ratio is at. Well, we'll have to see. When he gets back to us, hey, I need, how many people are in here? 31 people? There needs to be 31 likes and 30, all of you guys need to be subscribed with notification bells on. Oh, yeah, you got 10 likes. It ain't happening. I'll keep that one. And actually, this was the best one, so I'll keep this one in the tuck for later, man. Let me know when you guys subscribe, turn the notification bell on, and like the video. And if I remember it, I may tell you this fourth one that will help you slaughter the competition, man. Huh? It's going up? 20 more likes. It's not even close, bro. It takes you how much, like this much effort to get stuff that's made me millions of dollars? Hey, it's all right. We'll keep rolling. If I remember it, they'll get it, man. I've never started. How do I start? First and foremost is understand the business model. How does the business work? Like if you've never ridden a bike, you want to understand like, okay, what does the process of riding a bike looks like? What's the worst that can happen? What's the best that can happen? The worst that can happen is you fall off and you skin your knee. The best that can happen is you learn a new skill set. So identify like, because we're all humans, we all have the same questions. How does it work? What's the worst that can happen? What's the best that can happen? Answer those questions, familiarize yourself with the process. Watch, like literally my YouTube channel is the best place for you to learn how to start this business or grow this business for free. Like the next like best option that's cheap is like, or damn near free, is order my book. Like literally this book is free. I cover the print and production of this book. You cover shipping and handling. It's less than 20 bucks. Order a copy of this book. It's over 200 pages and it literally breaks down everything. Let me look at the index. Get your copy of One Product Away. Like check out the YouTube channel. Where's the, is there a index in here, Eros? I thought all books have. I guess not, but this book is fire. Trust me. Let me just put this here as a reminder for those of you guys who haven't gotten this amazing book. The like count's up. All right, let me think if they're bugging me like, dude, just give it to him. Give it to him. We're getting messages. We're getting messages. What was it that I was going to tell him? I don't know, man. I forgot, man. See, when I tell you guys at the beginning, man, like, yo, like and subscribe to the channel, you guys got to do that stuff, man. Oh, okay. I remember it. So the fourth hack to advertising your product or crushing your product outside of what you could do within Amazon is go to Facebook, and Facebook has a media ad library. Go to Google, type in Facebook paid media ad library. Go type in your competitors, and Facebook will literally show you all the ads that are running. Then you need to restructure in chronological order the ads that have the oldest dates. The ads that have the oldest dates have been running the longest are obviously the most profitable ads, and you literally go take that content, remake it, run it to your product. Now you have Facebook ads, you have social media influencer strategy, and you also have a blog and press release strategy. Or you can't, ain't nobody talking about this on YouTube, man. I'd be giving these people too much. You guys aren't paying for this, so you ain't gonna do nothing with it, man. We might as well just start deleting these, man. Nobody's using this. This is just too much value, man. Like this is people like better than the other people's courses. They get this stuff for free. What will be the cap that you'll need to start the business? Like the more cash and capital you have, the better. Like I would say, what I like to say is I like to change that. Like I like to tell people if they have less than $5,000, like this is not a business for you. Like if you have less than $5,000 to invest, this is not a business for you. You really need closer to $10,000. And like, can you do it for less? Yes, but you're limiting the product launch. Like what if you find an amazing product, but you can't afford to fulfill it, or you can't afford to manufacture it, or you can't afford to ship it? Like this is not a business where like you're trying to make your first dollar online and you're like you have no money in your account, you have no credit. Like unfortunately, like can you do it? Yes, I just taught you how to do it. Get a business partner, take out a loan, or work a second or third job so you can stack up some capital. It doesn't take long to do in today's society, and then invest the money, right? That's how you would do it. I paid for my LLC today. Was sent. To Secretary of State 20 minutes ago for confirmation. Can't wait to get started. Shout out to Marcus. That's amazing, man. Congratulations, guys. And also fall in love with the process and give yourself acknowledgement for momentum. That is momentum. That's an accomplishment. That is a win. Too many of us, we only want to accomplish ourselves or give ourselves a pat on the back if it's some huge thing like our first sale or our first $10,000. If you start, come up with these micro steps. I call them milestones. Come up with these milestones. And you should really watch the video I have here on the channel about milestones and goals, because people do not understand the difference between milestones and goals. If you understand what milestones are and you use them effectively, number one, you will have a better journey on your journey to success. Number two, you'll make more money. Number three, you'll be more fulfilled. And number four, you'll accomplish more goals. Because the problem is so many people set goals that are unrealistic, or they're so far from being attained, or they're so far from where you are right now, you don't have a clear path to get to that goal. So you have to be able to illustrate and create these milestones that are going to be like ledges or steps that are going to guide you to your goal. Because everybody's goal who starts an online Amazon business is to make their first $10,000. How is it going to happen? What needs to happen in what order? And when do I start? How do I start? These are all questions that need to be answered and put into milestones that are used in effective chronological order from 1 through 10 or 1 through 20, right? And then again, remember, how do we make sure now we have this list? How do I get this stuff done? Because it's not mandatory. It's not mandatory for you to work 40 years and then retire on less than what you were happy with for your entire life. That's not mandatory. That's an option. Just like it's not mandatory for you to go all in, stay up at night studying, for you to go all in and spend all your money, invest all your money, and read and invest in yourself. It's not mandatory. It's an option, right? So you have to choose the option. The ball's in your court. I just started reviewing the course. The 3 pillars of fire. Rose, I appreciate it. So again, the 3 pillars of success: patience, persistence, resilience. When I reverse engineered, how did I make it? Because I'm not special, guys. We get messages all the time, holy crap, I can't believe this guy doesn't have a diploma or a degree. Smart. I am not smart. I'm educated, right? I'm not intelligent. I'm educated. I'm just educated in high income producing skill set activities. I do not put any time into things that aren't going to benefit or get quantum leaps in my life. So I identify who's the best in the world and I pay them whatever they ask. And if I can't afford it, I figure out how to afford it. That's been my strategy for the last 10 years, and it's helped. And when I had no money, I was not afraid to get 2 or 3 jobs. I was not afraid to go to the thrift store and hustle stuff to come up with money to invest in myself. That's it. I busted my face off. I saved all my money. I lived below my means, and I gave the best people in the world the most amount of money to learn exactly what they know. So I didn't have to learn it the hard way. That's my secret to success. The 3 pillars of success: patience, persistence, resilience, came from how I became successful. I genuinely believe that there's 2 ways that you can fail at anything in life, not just this Amazon business. If you want to become successful at anything, there's 2 ways that you fail. Number 1, you don't start the journey of the thing. Number 2, once you start, you give up. Well, that sounds very simple. What about all the minute details like the steps and the strategies and the tactics? You have to learn those through one of 2 ways throughout that journey of starting and not giving up. Number 1 way to learn that is through trial and error. This is the cheapest, however, the longest and most painful, and this is where everybody gives up. The second is to learn through the trial and error of someone else, which is a coach, consultant, mentor, or some type of figure who has been where you are, right, and has gone through what you have not yet. That way they can guide you around the potholes, the bungee traps, and the landmines along the way on your path to success. So here's my definitions of the 3. So patience, the first P, is knowing that the thing is going to work, but not knowing when you will get the results from the thing, okay? Persistence is doing the same thing every single day that you need to do in order to get the result, not knowing when you'll get the result. And then resilience is knowing that you'll one day get the result, but not when. Then persistence, doing the same thing every single day, knowing you'll get the result, just not knowing when you'll get the result, and then messing up, whether it's losing money, losing sleep, losing peace, and then continuing to do that again. When you can master your mind, master your heart, master your spirit, and all three of those are on unison on this path of success, and no one can take you off of it, not a family member, not someone of influence, whether it be a significant other, a friend, a family member, a mother, a father, a spouse, a religious congregation. If nobody can take you off of this path to success, and you understand patience, persistence, resilience, and you're not worried about obstacles like loss of money because of advertisement, loss of money because of product viability, loss of money because something that's going on in the economy, and you know it has to work or it has to work, and you believe that, and if you give up, you have a consequence so severe that you're terrified to even go through that, then it's just a matter of time. It's not about how will you become successful, because you have the vehicle, you have the catalyst. It's just a matter of when. The $1 million question in today's society that is like high on instant dopamine and instant gratification, the $1 million question is, how can you be patient and go through hell until you make it to heaven, figuratively speaking? That's the $1 million question. The reason why people struggle to become successful is because they're not patient. Like, no one wants to lose money. No one wants to be stressed out, but no one wants to be poor. You can't have it all. Like, you got to choose. You suffer today or you suffer the long run. If you don't sacrifice for your dreams become the sacrifice. Yes, your job is comfortable. Yes, your savings account is comfortable. But how is retirement at a fraction of where you want to be at in your life? Not comfortable. Not a happy conversation that you want to have with your children, your grandchildren. So if you don't sacrifice today for tomorrow, your tomorrow has already become sacrificed. So if you understand all of these methodologies and you understand the 3 pillars of success and you understand, how business works, it's not, is Amazon is it still a viable business? All business models, for a majority of them, are viable. If the people work, the process will work. Not if the process works, the people will work. How many thousands of people have started successful businesses? How many hundreds of clients do we have that have successful businesses? One of our clients, which is now our oldest client and our most successful client, who's also a coach in our programs, just built a modern mansion in the Philippines and is moving in over the last weekend. Retired his wife, traveling around the world, built a home in a second country, like is flipping houses, changed his life. Like, if you guys know it's working, why isn't it working for you? It's not the process. Process still works for people all around the world. It's not the process problem, it's the person problem. Remember, and this is something you can do. Whenever you feel down, whenever you feel like you're not executing, whenever you feel like you're not getting progress, whenever you feel like you want to give up, understand that no one will deliver success to you. You have to go through things in order to become successful. It doesn't just appear. You have to go through obstacles in order to become successful. You take your hand, put it in front of you like this, right? Your dominant hand. Take a pointer, index finger like this, point it directly in front of you. Do this looking in the mirror, and you'll notice when you point a finger at anything, anyone, any reason, any circumstance, there's not one, there's not two, there's 3 pointing back directly at you. That's because the enemy is in the inner me, and if it was meant to be, well, it was up to me. See, the problem that a lot of people have as to why they're not successful, and I had this same stinking thinking, is, well, it's my circumstance. My wife's an immigrant. I'm a felon. I don't have a high school diploma. My parents, they're not financial literate. I don't have any credit. I don't have any money. I don't have a job. I don't have anywhere to live. I don't have a mentor. I don't have any money. I had all 10 things, all 10 of these things I had, and guess what? I blamed everybody. I blamed God. I blamed my society. I blamed my neighborhood. I blamed my ethnicity. I blamed my parents. I blamed the time of the year I was born in. I blamed everything except myself. Guess what changed? None of those. Still the same color skin, still the same parents, still the same ethnicity. My wife's still an immigrant. I got my felony expunged after 5 years. But guess what changed? My mindset. I stopped focusing on stinking thinking. I applied all the stuff that I'm sharing with you guys for free here on the channel, and it changed my life. If you change your mind, you can change your life. You have to arrive at the destination in your mind before you can arrive there in your life. If you generally do not see yourself where you want to be at, you'll never be at where you want to be. It can't happen. That's a principle that it will never happen. Gizzle, I bought your book. Is it in hard copy? I paid for shipping. Yeah, Gizzle. So if you go to the website www.1productawaybook.com, You just cover the cost of shipping and handling, and I ship you a physical book. You get this physical book that's right here in my hand, shipped directly to you. I think if you're anywhere, like if you're international, it's a little bit more. But I mean, like, I'm not an author. I don't care about being the number one selling author. I don't care about my stuff being in stores. I created this book because I don't have anything under $10,000 to offer anyone. So like there's tons of people. I have my YouTube channel and there's nothing. So it's like there's tons of people that want more information, that love my teaching style, but they just can't afford to work with our company. And that's fine. Not everybody can afford to drive a Rolls Royce. So I wanted to offer the best education that I could at under $20. And that's why, like, my goal is to get this book in 1 million people's hands. Like, our number one mission, my number one mission, the reason why I still do this until I retire, like, I'm already partly retired. I'm building a home out the country. Like, I don't plan on working much longer. I do this because it's a passion. The minute this becomes for profit, I'm cool. The towel's getting thrown in. Like, I tell my team this all the time. Our number one mission is to help educate people and offer them an opportunity to start a business, the same business that changed me and my wife and my family's life forever. That's our mission statement. Not to be an influencer. I don't give a damn about likes or social media followers. I don't go to conferences. You'll never see me going to a club, parking my car out front in large groups of people. I don't care about any of that crap. I don't wear designer clothing. All I care about is helping people, helping people and giving them the opportunity that I was given, because I'm forever grateful for my mentor who told me about this business model, because I would still be hand sorting through trash. I remember vividly begging for $1 raise, which is $1,200 a month. Like now, like I couldn't even fathom making less than $1,200 in several hours of my day's time. I couldn't even fathom it. I don't know what that failure looks like. Yet I remember vividly, literally little less than a decade ago, begging for $1 raise. If you would have given me that $1 raise, I may still been hand sorting trash, right? So that's what it is, man. Buckeye Business Products for Labels, or Croy, same company, that's what they sell as labels. I don't understand that question. Do you understand that question? Buckeye Business. Yeah, if you can re-ask that question, man, I may have got off topic and forgot what you were talking about, man. If you ask it again down there, I'll make sure that we answer it, though. Subscribed, bro. That book is a cheat code. Tap in. I appreciate it, Dominique. How can you help me for free? Really? I mean, dude, I have the largest YouTube channel on this subject with the most valuable content. Like, it costs me 6 figures to give you guys free information per year. Like, I don't know what else I can do for free. Like, yeah, 400. My guy, my director of production just told me we have 411 videos. Again, I say this every single week. Find a private label channel that has more videos that are better quality and more informational. Send that person to support@theamzformula.com, and I will cash app you free money. Literally, you want to make free money doing like next to nothing? Find someone on the internet who has better quality content for free on YouTube that has more than 411 videos giving you the type of information you get here, and I will send you free money. Wesley says, I'm in this program now. The fact that he's doing these every Friday is absolutely wild. This guy's providing crazy amount of value. And the book, I definitely feel like I'm set up for success. I appreciate it, Wesley. It means the world to me. That comment actually made my day, man. I appreciate it. On average, what is the PPC budget you'll be spending monthly? It really depends. It depends off the search volume. It depends off like the demand that's in the industry. However, the goal is to spend as much money per day as you can at break even or profitability. So we talk about a ceiling. The ceiling is when you want to spend more money and Amazon cannot spend it because there's not that much demand. So our goal is to find that ceiling internally within Amazon at break even or profitable. When we look at PPC, we don't want to look at it as an expense for doing business. we wanted to look at it as a bonus to doing business. Like PPC is how we get our organic ranking. Organic ranking is how we get our profit. It's how we make a majority of our money in the business, because that's what will drive up the ranking for keywords and different search terms, right? So that's the goal with PPC. But typically, like if I was to give you a ballpark, like a lot of people start at between $30 and $75 a day, depending again on the search volume. If you have a product that you think is going to sell 1,000 units per month, it may be 75 to 100 a day. If you have a product that's going to sell you 300 units a month, it may be $15 to $35 a day. So I can't give you an exact number. It depends on the search volume of the category and the product. You're welcome, Gizzle. Dominique, I appreciate it. Tanya, I appreciate it. Guys, I really appreciate you guys. It's 30 minutes with a millionaire, but again, we're over an hour and literally on an hour mark right now. Again, I appreciate you guys from the bottom of my heart. If you guys haven't already, please hit that subscribe button right now. Click the notification bell next to it and comment the words "done" down below. If you guys haven't gotten a copy of my book, it's absolutely free. I cover the physical copy. You just pay shipping and handling. Go to www.thenumber1productawaybook.com. And again, I don't come on here to talk about my programs or services or consulting or coaching or anything that we offer within the AMZ Formula brand. If you are interested and you're serious and far from curious about starting an online Amazon business, you know you do not want to do this alone, or maybe you've already started the journey and you want help getting to your destination faster, easier, with less anxiety and loss of money, then schedule a free consultation. Talk to my team. Get all your questions answered for free. Like if you are serious about starting the business, you don't know if it's for you, schedule a free call. Like if you want to start a business and you want help, but you don't know what program is best for you, schedule a free call. Like there's no websites to join any of my stuff because we can't serve everybody when they have different needs by just force feeding them one course. That's the problem that we identified several years ago, is everybody just sells courses. I stopped selling courses. I stopped doing webinars because there's so many different people in the world that have different needs. And we have so many different offers at our company. Like literally, we have coaching, we have consulting, we have programs, we have done-for-you solutions, we have services, right? Depending on where you are in your journey, what your goals are, if it's a good fit, I'm sure we can help you get to the next level. So if you have any questions about that, Eros, go ahead, drop the link down below. It's still on the book. Go ahead and schedule a call. They'll put the link down below right now so you can see it. It's www.thenumber1productawaycall.com. Absolutely free, no BS. Write your questions down and make sure you show up to the call. It's all I ask. Before you show up to the call, write your questions down. Understand like what you want out of this business, what you want out of life. Write your specific questions down and just show up to the call. Set a reminder, set a notification, schedule the call now. You have nothing to lose, literally. I appreciate you guys. God bless you guys. And most importantly, remember, you're only one product away. See you guys next week.